Timon of Athens is one of William Shakespeare's lesser-known plays, believed to have been written in collaboration with another playwright, Thomas Middleton. The play delves into themes of friendship, wealth, greed, and the corrupting influence of money. It follows the tragic journey of Timon, a wealthy and generous nobleman in Athens, whose life unravels as he confronts the true nature of his friends and society. Act 1. The play opens with a group of lords and characters discussing Timon's extravagant lifestyle and his reputation for boundless generosity. Timon is adored by many and has a large circle of friends who often benefit from his lavish gifts and financial support. Amidst these admirers, there is Apemantus, a cynical and misanthropic philosopher who remains skeptical of the motives behind Timon's seemingly generous actions. To celebrate his fortunes, Timon throws an opulent banquet, treating his guests to extravagant feasts and showering them with expensive gifts. He is particularly close to Ventidius, a loyal friend who owes his life to Timon's benevolence. During the feast, Apemantus appears to be the only one unimpressed by the spectacle, and boldly criticizes the superficiality of Timon's gatherings. Act 2. As the play progresses, it becomes evident that Timon's financial situation is not as prosperous as it seems. His generosity and extravagant lifestyle have left him heavily in debt. Timon's steward, Flavius, brings the troubling news of their dwindling resources, but Timon is dismissive and believes his wealth is infinite. He confidently seeks loans from his friends, believing they will willingly lend him the money he needs to sustain his lifestyle. But he is soon faced with the harsh reality of their true intentions. When Timon approaches his friends for assistance, they all devise excuses to avoid helping him. They feign concern but ultimately turn their backs on him, revealing their disingenuous and self-serving nature. Even Ventidius, the one person Timon considered his most loyal friend, denies him the requested loan, further deepening Timon's sense of betrayal and isolation. Act 3. Timon, abandoned and in despair, withdraws from the city and retreats to a desolate wilderness outside Athens. Here, he encounters various characters, such as Alcibiades, a young military captain and friend, who is facing a death sentence for a crime he committed. Alcibiades pleads for leniency, but the Athenian leaders remain resolute in their decision. In the wilderness, Timon discovers gold, which he believes will empower him to take revenge on those who betrayed him. He becomes consumed by bitterness and hatred for the corrupt society that has forsaken him. In a symbolic gesture, he offers the gold to the thieves and bandits he meets, encouraging them to embrace greed and violence. Act 4. Meanwhile, back in Athens, Alcibiades, now full of rage over his unjust sentence, gathers an army to seek revenge against the city that has wronged him. As he prepares for war, he contemplates the injustice he has faced and the corrupt nature of the Athenian leaders. Act 5. Returning to Athens, Timon confronts the Senate and the city's politicians, throwing the gold he found at their feet in an attempt to expose their greed and hypocrisy. However, his plan fails as the politicians reject the gold, claiming they are honorable and not motivated by such material wealth. Timon then encounters his loyal steward, Flavius, who has remained faithful despite the dire circumstances. Touched by Flavius's unwavering loyalty, Timon gives him gold to help him survive in the harsh world. In the final scenes, Timon stumbles upon the graves of some Athenians, whose inscriptions only mention their virtues, not their vices or flaws. This revelation prompts Timon to engage in a moment of self-reflection, acknowledging his own past faults and the role he played in the deceptive society he now despises. In the climax of the play, Timon succumbs to his despair and dies alone in the wilderness, abandoned by all but a few faithful followers. Alcibiades finally arrives at Athens with his army, taking control of the city and confronting the corrupt leaders who wronged him. In the play's closing moments, Alcibiades discovers Timon's lifeless body and reflects on the tragedy of his former friend's demise. He laments the corrupting influence of power, wealth, and revenge, underscoring the play's overarching theme of the consequences of greed and betrayal. Timon of Athens is a dark and poignant tragedy that delves into the depths of human nature, revealing the destructive potential of unchecked generosity, greed, and false friendships. It serves as a cautionary tale about the transient nature of wealth and the importance of true friendship and genuine human connections. Through Timon's downfall, Shakespeare and Middleton provide a sobering portrayal of the corrupting influence of money and the harsh reality of a society driven by self-interest and deceit.